Have you ever watched someone take advantage of the sweetest, most harmless person you know, and felt something inside you snap? Because that's exactly what happened the moment I opened a 130 Thanksgiving meal my grandma bought only to find everything frozen solid inside cheap Tupperware, with a turkey that needed another 2.5 hours in the oven. The store had plastered their ads with steaming plates, golden turkey skin, hot stuffing, everything ready to serve. But what they actually gave her? A box of lies. And that's the moment I decided they messed with the wrong grandma and the wrong grandson. Before we get into how I made this shady grocery store regret scamming my grandma, if you've ever fought for someone who deserved better, hit that subscribe button. Like this video to help more people see stories where justice is served piping hot, unlike that turkey. And tell me in the comments, has a company ever tried to scam someone in your family? All right, let's dive in. Thanksgiving is supposed to be warm, cozy. It's supposed to smell like cinnamon, butter, and memories. For my grandma, Thanksgiving is her Super Bowl. She's older now. Her knees hurt, she moves slower, but she still takes pride in hosting. Every year she tells us, as long as I'm here, we're having Thanksgiving at my house. But this year, she admitted she couldn't handle the full cooking workload. So when her local grocery store advertised fully cooked, ready to serve Thanksgiving feast, she jumped on it. And honestly, who could blame her? The newspaper ads were glossy and beautiful golden turkeys, creamy potatoes, steam literally rising from every dish. Even in-store posters had the same photos. You could practically smell the food through the page. No disclaimers. No fine print saying, some assembly required. No hints that she'd basically be buying a frozen meal for $130. So she placed her order proudly and called me and my dad to pick it up Thanksgiving morning. I didn't think anything was wrong yet. When we arrived, the employees seemed rushed, frazzled. But hey, holidays, right? They handed us a big box taped shut and said, "Happy Thanksgiving." We brought the box to my grandma's house, set it on her counter, and she smiled like a kid on Christmas morning. "Open it! Let's see what we got." So I cut the tape, lifted the flaps, and felt. My stomach drop. Everything, every single dish, was frozen solid. The mashed potatoes were rock-hard cylinders. The stuffing was a frosty brick. The gravy was a frozen brown puck stuck to the lid. Even the pies felt like ice blocks. And the turkey, yeah, it had a sticker on it saying, "Bake for 2.5 to 3 hours." I stared at it in disbelief. I kept waiting for it to not be real, but it was real. My grandma, bless her heart, blinked and said quietly, "Oh, I thought it would be hot." Her voice cracked just a little, just enough for something in me to ignite like gasoline. Because it wasn't about the food. It was about the lie. About a massive corporation targeting old folks who physically can't cook big meals anymore. Selling them false hope wrapped in cheap plastic containers. I felt my jaw clench. My face heated up. I remember thinking, you don't get to disappoint my grandma. Not today. And that's when the plan formed. My dad looked furious too. He kept muttering, "This is ridiculous," under his breath. I grabbed the receipt. At the bottom, in tiny, microscopic print, smaller than the nutritional label on a tic-tac box, was a sentence. "Items may require heating before serving." Heating? My butt. You could use these potatoes as self-defense weapons. Grandma tried to brush it off. "It's okay. Sweetie," she said softly, patting my arm. "Thanksgiving isn't about the food." But that wasn't the point. She had been excited. She had trusted them, and they took advantage of that trust. So while my dad started preheating the oven to salvage whatever we could, I excused myself. "I'll be right back." I grabbed my car keys, the receipt, and the box label. I wasn't sure what I was going to do yet, but I knew I wasn't letting this slide. When I got to the store, the parking lot was chaos. Cars everywhere. People arguing, employees running around like headless chickens. Perfect. I walked inside and immediately saw a huge line of people picking up the same Thanksgiving feast. Every person walked away with the same taped-up box, and every single one of them looked confused. A woman opened hers right at the counter and yelled, "Why is everything frozen?" A man behind her muttered, "This is false advertising." The employees kept repeating the same scripted line, "It's cooked, but you need to heat it up." Heat it up. For hours. I knew then that this wasn't a mistake. This was a scam, one they probably profited from every holiday season. I marched up to the customer service desk. The manager, let's call him Rick, looked exhausted, annoyed, and absolutely not prepared for someone like me. "What can I help you with?" he asked without making eye contact. I placed the receipt, the frozen turkey instructions, and a photo of their steaming hot food ad right in front of him. "This," I said calmly, "is false advertising, and you scammed my grandma." He rolled his eyes. Actually rolled them. "Sir, everything is cooked. You just have to heat it." "Heating isn't the same as cooking," I said. "You advertised ready to serve food." He shrugged. "Well, technically, no." "Not technically. You lied. He tried to dismiss me. We have other customers, sir." And that's when I knew the only way to win was to stop being polite and start being public. I turned around, raised my voice just enough to project, but not enough to yell. "Hey, did anyone else get a frozen Thanksgiving meal from this place?" Heads snapped toward me. Hands shot up. People surrounded the counter instantly. Within seconds, I had an entire crowd backing me up. A very loud, very angry crowd. And Rick, his face drained of color, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "They told my grandmother this meal would be ready to serve. Everything is frozen and needs hours of cooking. Their ads show hot food. This is false advertising." A chorus of voices echoed mine. "Mine too. I want a refund. This is ridiculous. You ruined our holiday." Someone started recording on their phone. Then another, and another. A woman beside me whispered, "Good thinking." Rick suddenly looked like he wanted to evaporate. I'll need to get the store director," he stammered. "Please do," I said. "We'll wait." The director, a sharply dressed woman with a forced smile, came out quickly. She tried corporate speak on us. "We'll apologize for any confusion." A man yelled, "This isn't confusion. It's deception." The director saw the phone's recording. She straightened her back and said, "Everyone who purchased a Thanksgiving meal today will receive a full refund and a 50-store credit for the inconvenience." The crowd erupted into cheers and relieved sighs. But me, I wasn't done. I stepped forward and said, "And I want it in writing that you will change your advertising next year. No more misleading photos. Clear disclosure about heating times." She nodded quickly, almost frantically. "Yes, absolutely. We will update all promotional materials." The manager glared at me like I'd personally ruined his holiday. I smiled back. Justice tastes delicious. I walked out of that store with a full 130 refund, a 50 store credit, and a printed, signed statement promising they would change their ads, but the real victory. Walking into my grandma's kitchen, placing the refund cash on her counter and saying, "Grandma, they apologized, and they're changing their ad next year." Her eyes softened. She squeezed my hand and said, "You always look out for me." And in that moment, the rage that had been boiling in my chest all afternoon finally dissolved. We still had to wait hours for the turkey to cook, but we made the best of it, laughing, talking, playing cards. And my grandma, she told everyone at dinner, "My grandson went to battle for me." I swear she looked 10 years younger just saying it. Sometimes revenge isn't about getting even. It's about protecting the people who've spent their whole lives protecting you. And it's about reminding the world that kindness isn't weakness. If you try to scam someone's grandma, you'd better be ready for the consequences. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button. It helps these justice stories reach more people. Subscribe for more Reddit revenge tales just like this one. And tell me in the comments, what's the worst holiday scam you've ever seen? Thanks for watching, and as always, justice served. See you in the next one.